Hey everybody, I'm Binoche, aka the Terrible Australian of Supermarcy.com, and this is my video review of CLOUDS of Sils Maria, which is the new film from acclaimed French director Olivier Assayas. So let's get right into it. For those out there who don't know who Olivier Assayas is, he's sort of a director of many sort of well-known French films like Something in the Air, Cold Water, but he's probably best known for directing the film / TV miniseries Carlos, which starred Edgar Ramirez. That's probably the project that he's probably best known to international audiences. And so this is his latest film, and honestly I didn't know what to expect with this film because I only knew a bit of what the plot was about, but what made me interested in checking it out was that it had Juliette, Binoche, Kristen, Stewart, and Chloe Grace Moretz in the cast, and I thought, okay, I mean, I like those actresses, and I've liked them like in a lot of other films and all that. So so that in that regard sort of made me interested in made me very interested in checking out this film. And overall, having seen it now, I thought it was a really good film. Like, I don't think it's as amazing as a lot of people have made it out to be, but it's a really interesting, really compelling, and also at times quite complex film that deals with a lot of interesting themes and ideas about aging, celebrity, and that's sort of the blurring the line between the performer and their character, and sort of how that things that have happened in the sort of this sort of play that the actors, that Juliette Binoche is working on, sort of in a way kind of mirror what's happening to her in her real life, and it's interesting in that way, and I thought that's what made the film sort of, to me as a viewer, sort of really interesting and compelling, and I thought that the film did a really good job at sort of exploring those ideas in a way that's not too heavy-handed, and also had a bit of nuance and as well, and this made it an even more interesting experience. And it was also kind of funny watching this film because in a lot of ways, because Juliette Binoche is sort of plays an actor in the film, and Kristen Stewart plays her assistant, and it's kind of interesting how their characters, the things that happen in the film, kind of sort of mirror what is going on through Juliette Binoche and Kristen Stewart's lives. In the film, Juliette Binoche plays a critically acclaimed actress of both film and theatre, and she's sort of at that stage in her life now about, how actresses sort of seem, when actresses get older and all that, they seem to be, not in demand as much. And also Kristen Stewart, while it's not really her character, but there are sort of shades that happen of things that happen in Kristen Stewart's life that have sort of planted on Chloe Moretz's character. Because Chloe Grace Moretz, she plays sort of a character who's kind of like a Lindsay Lohan / kind of sort of teen star who, even though she is a wonderful actress in the film, she's someone who gets chased around by the paparazzi and does really stupid things. She gets drunk, takes drugs and all that. And also in the film, there's at one point in which she has an affair with a British novelist, and that kind of, in a way, kind of mirrors the similar things that happen to Kristen Stewart in her personal life, which I'm going to go into, but I just thought that was sort of interesting, and how a lot of things that happened in this film sort of mirrored what happened to both the things that have happened to both Juliette Binoche and Kristen Stewart in real life. And well, that kind of does seem obvious, but it actually works for the film and actually makes it an interesting experience. And also, I did really like the sort of the dynamic between Juliette Binoche and Kristen Stewart, because I think, to me, their characters are kind of the heart of the film, and sort of because they've been together, working for a long time, with Stewart working as Juliette Binoche's assistant, so they're very comfortable around each other. They can say anything, and it's sort of interesting. Of like in the film, Juliette Binoche is asked if she wants to star in a revival of the play that made her famous 20 years prior, but this time in playing, because in the play that she originally started, she played sort of this young girl, and now in the revival they want her to play the sort of the secondary character, who's a much older woman, and she sort of struggles with that, trying to get inside the mindset of the older character, even because she's still stuck on the character that made her famous, and sort of like going through the read-throughs with Kristen, Stewart and all that. There's some really great scenes between them, and it's interesting to see how this sort of working relationship / friendship is sort of starts off extremely well, but sort of subtly kind of starts to deteriorate as the film goes on. And I thought the film did a really good job at sort of doing that. And also just the performances in the film are terrific. Juliette Binoche, once again, I mean, she's one of the best actresses working today. She's just absolutely wonderful in this film. And surprisingly enough, and I know this is going to shock a lot of people, but Kristen Stewart, she was pretty fantastic in this film. And I know a lot of people sort of harp on her because of the Twilight movies and all that, and feel like in some of her roles and all that she can be a bit wooden and all that. And not to say that she hasn't, but I think with this film and also Still Alice and a couple other films I've seen her in, you know, like Into the Wild and Adventureland and a few others, these type of films really do showcase that she is talented, and when given the right material, she can be a really good actress. And without a doubt, Clouds of Sils Maria her performance in this film is definitely one of her best, and there's a good reason why. She's like only the second American ever in history to have won the Caesar Award, which is the equivalent of a French Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for her performance. She's just terrific, and I think this film is definitely going to change people's minds on her as an actress, and see that she can be really talented when given, you know, a great role. And also Chloe Grace Moretz is terrific as always. She sort of dives into her sort of character. Like, yeah, it's kind of an easy role, but she sort of brings she sort of digs pretty well into sort of the outrageous aspects of her character, but she does add a bit of depth to her as well. And also, the film's pretty well written. Olivier Assayas' screenplay is nicely written. It's beautifully directed, and also it has gorgeous cinematography as well. In terms of negatives, I did feel like, I have to say, my sort of biggest problems with the film is the last 20 minutes. Now, I understand completely what Assayas was going for with that last 20 minutes, but I'm not sure it came off as well as it could have. And to be honest, I just found it completely unsatisfying. And also, there are just sort of things that I wish the film sort of delve into a lot more, but it kind of just doesn't, and it leaves some things a bit ambiguous, and just doesn't, and just basically just forgets all about it. And like, I know that's all part of what the last 20 minutes are going for, but I kind of feel like if the resolution was a bit stronger and a bit more focused, it probably would have been more satisfying, but unfortunately it just didn't really work for me. I could explain why that is, but that would go into spoiler territory, and I don't want to ruin the film for anyone. So I think if the last 20 minutes were better, it probably would have gotten a bit of a higher rating from me. So, but overall, it's a really good film. I quite liked it a lot, and I'd be interested to check it out again at some point. And if you're a fan of either of the actresses, definitely check this out for sure, because they're all terrific, and the film is just worth seeing just for their performances. So overall, if I had to give this film a rating, I'd give it a solid 3.5. But it might go up again next time I see it, sort of depending on how I feel about that last 20 minutes. But yep, that's it. That's my video review of Clouds of Sils Maria. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you all later. See you, everyone. Bye.